Good morning, Sue. How are you? Greetings and salutations. Alexa, lower volume. Sorry, she was interfering with our conversation, Sue. Hi, Carol. Good morning. How are you? I am ready and raring to paint. How about all of you? Hey, Jamie. How are you today? I'm so glad you're here. Sophie stopped snoring just in time for class to start. She's been just snoring away. You know, she just goes from one place to the next to nap. She's a crazy dog. So, how is everyone? Hey, Carm. I have lots to talk about. I hope that you all found our brand new art printable, the Artsy Surprise. So I have various, I wanted to talk about those a little bit today. So this one was I have all of these ideas. I have all of these ideas beyond my traditional art printables with the slimline and the A2 and the independent piece of art. And so I was trying to think of a way that I could share them, but they're all over the place. If you know anything about my brain, it kind of ping, 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 ping. I have all of these different ideas and all of this art that I've drawn. So each time one comes out, it's going to be a little bit different. So remember I said to be sure to watch your social media, because I will put something out so that you'll know that something's coming, and then go to the website and get whatever that is, and then we'll play with it. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I have so many things to talk about. Good morning, Laura. So your package from your sister is going to be a little late because I have to deliver your prize to her, because it's going to be sent in your box from your sister. Let's see. Okay, so I have. Oh, I did want to ask. So does everyone watch CBS Sunday Morning? I'm telling you, I think it's my favorite show of the week. Number one, because the stories are newsworthy, but not bad news. And most often, not political, they're all just nice stories. And I will just tell you, I'm just the queen of wanting to fill my brain with nice things, because I feel like, what we ingest is so important. I know that sounds so hippie, but I really believe it. If you ingest negative stuff, then it's going to have this visceral effect on you, right? So I just like to ingest nice things. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I watched from this past Sunday morning's broadcast, and I was just thinking, like, we should totally, like, that's something we could all, like, watch on Sunday, and then we can talk about it during the week, and then I will feel like I'm having a conversation with my girlfriends, right? So there's a huge thing about work from home. Did anybody see that story? And about how, I'm gonna sneeze, that 60% of people want to continue working from home once they get kind of the go-ahead to go back into the office or whatever. Oh, I can feel it coming on. Sorry. Sorry. But then there was this Harvard professor who was talking about the benefit of face-to-face contact with people. And I will just tell you, Jeff and I went out to dinner on Saturday night. Did I already tell this story? And as we were leaving the restaurant, we saw 4 friends that we hadn't seen in a really long time. And I'm telling you, It was so amazing. And I see those people on social media, but it was so awesome to see them in person and just chat. And I mean, our little visit was not more than 2 or 3 minutes, but it was fabulous. It was fabulous. Not that I don't, I am very much a homebody. I love being at home, but I just found that fascinating. I thought that whole story was really fascinating. That I think others, everybody kind of has to do what works best for them and for their employment. I'm lucky that my employment is this. I can work from home. So anyway, be that as it may. If anybody has anything to say about it, let's talk about it. So let's talk about yesterday's Artsy Surprise. So this is yesterday's Artsy Surprise, and it is called Rightbrainart. And Rightbrainart is one of the girls that designs for me. And she's just amazing, as are all of the girls that design for me. I would take boys if they wanted to join us. I absolutely would. So I'm going to just continue to paint some of these funky. So I'm really inspired by Mexican folk art a lot, especially after that trip to Mexico last year. And so these roses, I've been fiddling around with this since last February, just like fiddling. And now I drew one and I loved it. I've drawn a million that I didn't love. So once I got it, I was like, that's it. That's the first one. Ooh, everybody take a drink. Make sure you have your refreshing drink. I have some icy cold water and a little 7-Up for a little, sugar this morning. So, typically they are always red roses, but I was like, you know what? I want to fiddle with some other, colors. And so, you know what? I just realized I don't have my water cup down here. So I have a couple of different reds. So I thought that I would, so I'm just going to use that water for the time being. So I'm just going to spread some of this orangey red around. Kind of digging that. I'm going to color this whole flower, and then I'm going to run upstairs and grab my water cups. I can't believe I forgot those. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Anyway, so I'm going to fill this, and then, like I said, I'm going to run and grab my water. This morning I was like, wait a minute, do I have everything I need? Obviously, I do not. Okay, I'm going to run. I'll be right back. Okay, water. So my next Artsy Surprise, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I think it might come out on Sunday. If I'm remembering what I wrote on the calendar. So now I'm going to come back in. I have a really watery brush, and this is still a little bit damp. And I just want to go around the circumference of the bud part of the rose and just kind of build that, and then get some water. There we go. And pull that out. Just come in with a watery wash around the edge. You know, I'm always trying to learn something different about watercolors. Like, how can I make them move in a different way? And how can I control it or not control it? How can I make it bend to my will? Sometimes it just won't, but you know. So I want a little bit darker on the base of these inside petals. Oh, I'm loving that. All right, so let's see. So is everybody else painting roses this morning? I hope we're all doing the same thing. Okay, so here's another, there was another CBS Sunday Morning story that I was watching, and it piqued my interest because it was all about art. But then it made me think about something else that I wanted to share with you. So there was a story about airport art. Remember back when we get used to be able to fly places? Anyway, I love airport art. I take pictures of airport art. I just find it so inspiring. Number one, that they're making something really big that is appealing to the masses, but also that is oftentimes inspired by the locale that they're at. But this one was, oh, I didn't write down her name, but it was the name of the piece is called Shorter Than the Day, and it's in LaGuardia Airport. And it's this, oh my gosh, it's an engineering unbelievable feat. So it's 15,000 photos of the New York sky, and like at different times of the day. Oh my gosh, it's just amazing. But anyway, the thing that I found really interesting and cool about that was that the oops, I'm running out of space. I need to turn. I had just seen a post on Josie Lewis. You know I love me some Josie Lewis. I had just seen a post that she had put up about the airport art that she had created, and it was a mosaic, and it was unbelievable. So if you get the chance, search it out. Has anybody else been inspired by airport art? I just find it, I could just wander. Like I oftentimes look forward to a layover so that I can devote a little time walking around and admiring the art. I just love it. I'll get off the moving sidewalk just to go watch more, to gaze at more art. So this is interesting. So I had this little bit of a mix on my palette of my paints here, and it's a little bit turquoise and green from something that I was painting, but I'm really digging it in conjunction with this orangey red rose. So I'm just little by little building up my shadow here. And then I'm going to come down the center, Then on this one, I want to really, like this one I did quite painterly. And this one, I want to do a little bit more, like I really want to work on the dimension of the veins in the leaves. I think that's going to be interesting and, you know, a fun experiment. I just like to see. Remember I was telling you, like, what can these paints do? What can I make them do? How can I try to use them in a new way? So I'm going to let that dry and then come back. Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it, Keely? But in the end, holy smokes, it was just stunning. The magnitude of it, number one, and she was an engineer, so whatever. But it's also like, it's just like every piece worked in conjunction with the other pieces, and it was just awe-inspiring. Makes you want to just go to LaGuardia just to see it. Oh, so today I am using my silver black velvet brushes. If I had to pick a favorite, my silver black velvets they're kind of my fave. These and, I mean, I will use whatever is in the jar, and Connoisseur. Those are kind of my faves. But silver black velvet, I have them in a few different sizes. I think I might have bought a pack of them. But do you see, they're, excuse me, they have really nice snap, and their bristles are really, they're really nice. I will say, make sure once you've washed your brush and you've tapped it off, just take a few seconds and pull those bristles back into shape, and your brush will love you forever. Just a little tip. So let's see, what are we gonna do with this rose? I was thinking, what do you think of the yellow rose of Texas? Shut up, right? Okay. Ooh, that was a big blast of flavor. That was my 7-Up. So this time, I think I'm gonna do, and you know what, Laura? Use that with any brushes that you use. Just take a moment to wet it, tap it off, and then shape your petals, and your petals, sorry. I was looking at my picture, talking about my brush. Anybody else have little fruit flies around their digs? Ugh, so frustrating. Anyway, any brush you have, take a second to shape your bristles, and your brush will love you forever and a day. Okay, so I'm gonna pull some of this really creamy yellow. Add some water. I'm going to clean this off, and I really want to play with, oh, what is the number? The number, I'm sorry, Laura, it is a number 2. This one was a number 2, and this one is a number 8. You can really see the difference, can't you? But this one, so I want to try the wet on wet, so I'm going to cover this rose with wet water versus the other kind, with just water, and then I'm going to come in and add that yellow. Just tap, tap, tap. I kind of like this because I love to watch that water just like wick away that color. That's super fun. And it kind of gives you a cool base of color. So I really like these kind of Mexican folk roses because they kind of look embroidery-ish too, don't they? Which is kind of, you know, right up my alley too. So I think I'm gonna, that was kind of fun. So I'm gonna clean my brush, and then I think, what am I gonna do here? What color? What color? In the Josie set, I have so many, I have that bright pink, and I think that might be fun. So I'm gonna start to activate my colors. But I think I really want to do a watery wash of my pink first. I think that'll be fun. And then come in with deeper shades, you know. There we go. And now I'm going to pull some more of that color right from the cake of color and then just work around while it's still really wet. And kind of let that dry into like whatever it kind of decides it wants to do. Alrighty. Now I kind of have to think about what I'm going to do with the leaves on these. It's that kind of morning. Sniffy, sniffy. Ooh, another thing I wanted to talk about was, so my mom and my sister and I started to read this trilogy. Well, we started out with the first book that she had out in this series, called When We Left Cuba. Has anybody read that by Chanel Clayton? Oh my gosh. It's so fascinating. I just love it. Anyway, I think I'm gonna dry these first so I can go on to my next step. Anyway, after that book came out, my sister and I think we listened to it on one of our trips across the country, you know, heading to mom and dad's house. So her brand new one comes out today, Keels, called The Most Beautiful Girl in Cuba. So first was When We Left Cuba, then Next Year in Havana, then The Last Train to Key West, and that was, they were all really interesting because she's got a little bit of history that maybe not everyone, I certainly didn't learn a lot of that history, but they all take place in Florida and Cuba, Laura, so you might find them interesting. Anyway, today's, the one that comes out today is called The Most Beautiful Girl in Cuba. Oh, and I just finished a book, so I am raring to go. All right. What is anybody else reading? Anything good? Anything good? So let's get a little more pink. So I know I've got some harsh edges up there, but I will soften those in a bit. Right now, I just want to work on deepening my shadows and my the deepening the depth. That's not what I meant to say. Deepening the darkest areas, right? I feel like that's, and I want to do along here, this edge of the rose. And then I feel like down here and the base of these, the tighter petals, the ones that are in the very center. And then here, I'm just taking time to look at my areas of that are going to be darker. Right here, this petal lays on top of this petal, so I'm going to just deepen right there, and then deepen right here, and deepen right here, and right here. There we go. And just kind of let that sit. I still have to figure out what kind of green. Oh, that sounds interesting, Keels. The other Einstein. Ooh, that sounds really good. How about anybody else? Reading? Got any good things to tell us about? So now I'm going to take, I had the yellow for the Yellow Rose of Texas, but I have this really nice orange right beside it, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that orange. Try again. A little more. Let's try some clean water this time, Anne. Yep, there we go. Now I'm going to come in with that orangey yellow and do that same technique where I just tap around the edge. And it's a little tricky with this big brush, but I find myself not feeling as locked in with precision when I use a little bit bigger brush. You know? So here's going to be dark. Here. Under here. So we're just going to little by little build up that color, right? Nothing too stark. And kind of let that dry. Yes, exactly, Laura. She is brilliant, isn't she? And I just love that. I love all of the things that they have going with their foundation. And that they're still, I hate that their poor situation is out for public consumption, you know? Can you imagine it? It's got to be the worst. Little by little. Come in with some deeper. There. Oh, what was the other thing I wanted to talk about from NPR? Was it from... Oh! Did anybody see... So there was two more stories I want to talk about. So, not NPR, sorry, CBS Sunday Morning. Oh, don't you love Brene Brown? I just love her. did anybody see the interview with Christina Hunger, who is a speech pathologist, language and speech pathologist, who has created this communication device for doggies to communicate with their owners? I found it fascinating. And especially because, you know, we think Sophie is the smartest girl in the world. Solomon is her chill brother. He's like, I can't be bothered. But Sophie is super smart. Anyway, and this morning, my sister just adopted a new little puppy. It's not a puppy, but we call all dogs puppies in this house. And her name is Hemi, and she is a little min pin, and she is 7 years old. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. I just can't wait to play with her. So I feel like I need to dry again because everything's wet. Everything's wet, wet, wet. Hey, I saw this technique the other day, and I was wondering if anybody else had seen it. It could have been by Jen Shirkus. Now I don't remember exactly. I think it was Jen Shirkus. But anyway, I saved it. I'm just not remembering it right off the top of my head. But I'll go back and check. But anyway, she... so maybe I'll set this aside and I'll show you on one of my other 5,000 started projects around here. Okay, so remember this project? Okay, so here's what she said. She coded parts of her artwork that she had prepared, right? So it was already painted, and then she came in with her Winkastella, which does everybody have a Winkastella? Because it's pretty much the greatest. So you squeeze right here, right? And then sparkly shimmer comes out the end. So let's do some here, I think. So I'm just gonna randomly do some sparkly shimmer on at the beginning of the petals, or maybe I'll do the whole petals, I don't know. Anyway, she did Wink of Stella. She applied some Wink of Stella and let it dry completely, and then came in with glossy accents or whatever you have that's, come on, that's similar. So I still have this big bottle of Journey Glaze. So once it's all the way dry, you cover that area that you used Winkastella on, and you then you cover it with glossy accents or whatever, you know, glazy stuff you have. Let's see. So then it's going to seal in this like a shimmery epoxy piece. Right? How cool is that? You know what? I feel like I have a brand new Winkastella. Well, this is a Nouveau, I think, but it's all the same kind of. What else do I have? Okay, so I have. So it doesn't have to be Winkastella. Everything, I will just tell you, in the world of art supplies, there are so many things that there are many versions of it. So I have this one by Artsy. It's the same thing. So you pinch it here. You see it says push. And you push here. And some shimmery goodness comes out. Okay, so good, Keels. Now I'll challenge you to use them. So I'm just adding some Winkastella to these flowers. So now I'm like, so can you see the shimmer that's on there? Oh, I hope that shows up. I mean, the thing about Winkastella, I think Winkastella is that showing? Not really, is it? It just looks wet. But it is shimmery. So how Stickles are glittery. Wink of Stella is just shimmer. And that's kind of way more my jam. You know, that's just me. Other people love themselves some stickles. That would be our friend Joni, right, Carm? I'm not a huge stickles person. But I'm going to cover all of these flowers with Wink of Stella. And then I'm going to try that technique because I thought, oh, that looks kind of fun. So I'm just wiping off the end because I don't want to take a chance on contaminating one color into the other. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that it's picking up color, but I just don't want to take any chances. So I'm just going to coat them all and then wait for it to dry and then work on covering it with the Journey Glaze. But you know, you use whatever you have. Anyway, I just thought it was, hey Jan! Joni does love stickles. Okay, so I hope that you can see the shimmer. If I put it toward the window. So I covered all of the flowers in Wink of Stella. There, can you kind of see it? There we go. So it's just shimmer on top of those flowers. Now we're gonna let this dry completely. So I don't know if we'll, how are we doing on time? I don't know if we'll be able to do it here. And I feel like it might be kind of time consuming. And since I went over by 10 minutes the other day, so sorry. I'll try to stick with my 1 hour today. Yikes. Yeah, I just love the shimmer that Wink of Stella, and you know, so again, this is like I've had these Wink of Stella and I haven't used them probably in a year, but it just takes somebody else showing you, then you're like, oh, I have that. I'm going to pull that back out and see what I can do with it. Do you know what I mean? They're so, so fun. So I'm going to set this aside because I think it's going to be really pretty to have them look epoxied, sort of. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to set that aside to dry. I'm going to pull this back over, put my cap. So, oh, I was going to tell you. So there's Wink of Stella. There's the shimmer, I think it's called a shimmer pen by Artsy. And then this one is by Nuvo, and it is called Aqua Shimmer. And it's the glitter gloss. It's the same. It's this. I don't want the colors. I just want the shimmer. Do you know what I mean? Hi, Kathy. You're brand new here. Good morning, Rosanna. I'm so glad to see you. Welcome, 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 Kathy Murphy. Everybody take a drink. Anyone who's new here, please be sure to follow and like Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And then visit my website, AnnCorbiereScottDesigns.com, for all of my art printables and artsy classes. To just check it out. I bet you'll find something you find interesting. Okay, so let's see. Which one seems... Oh, I still need to add some green to these two leaves. This one, I really kind of dig that minty green. That's kind of, I'm really digging that. Okay, so I'm doing my wet brush, and then I'm just going to come in and do my Jiggy Jaggy blend. And this brush, I am finding, because the bristles are so long, I'm not getting the, I don't know the word, but I'll just tell you what my thought is. Okay, so this is a crappy old plaid brush. Let's see if it's stiffer, and I think I'm going to be able to get that color to move better with something that's a little bit stiffer. Oh, yes, Sue, look on the, if you look on the calendar, we have Let's Get Artsy Together Apart this Saturday. So we are the artist study. So we are, so bring your art journals, and we are going to be studying Georgia O'Keeffe, who is just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. So this is working much better. So I'm just taking some clear water and coming back and doing that jiggy jaggy blend. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth along those lines where we just want to create that really cool gradation of color. Yep, clean water. So I'm almost, you know, pushing that color back into the line. And by doing that, I'm creating this really nice, there's a little fuzz, this really nice organic kind of shading. Do you know what I mean? So we'll do this. And then I'm going to flip it and do the other side of the veins. This side. Little by little. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it, and do you see what I'm saying? Like right here, the underside. You just want that to look really... But looking at it from another angle, you see things that you wouldn't have seen on the other side, you know? Okay. Yep, there we go, there we go. Don't you love that moment when it kind of breaks and you see exactly what you've been working toward, you know? Kind of all of a sudden happens. There we go. So I know, don't you love that, Laura? I just love that color can create that. Do you know what I mean? Layers and layers of color can create that illusion and that depth. And it just takes time, I'm telling you, and slow layers. Just a slow build of layers. Because if you let your watercolors dry in between layers, then your paper will be able to take more water. Do you know what I mean? If you do it in small increments. Shut it! I'm loving those leaves. Just as much as I love these leaves, but they're totally different. So pretty. So pretty. So these, let's see, what can we do? What kind of a green can we use for them? Let's, I have this green in the Josie's, so let's get some watery green going over there. And let's just start with a layer of color. My idea is that I want to fussy cut all of these, so I'm okay if I overshoot the edge. That's pretty. And then remember, like, if this is not the green that you're kind of going for, remember, you can layer other greens on top of it. You can layer more of the same green. So I'm going to come down. So I just tapped my pan of paint and dipped it into the watery wash over here. Can you see that? I dipped here and then I dipped here. So now I still have kind of a watery wash. And now I'm going to just come in and just tap right there. And let that just kind of work its magic. And let's do the same thing here. Right? Just let it kind of do its thing. There we go. All right, so now we need to let those dry. So let's flip this around so we don't run the chance of sticking our hand in that, because Anne would absolutely do that. All right, let's take a drink. All right, so now let's take some clear water and then, oh, look what I did. Green drop right on my pretty red rose. Okay, so let's go back to this, the orangey red rose. So I dipped my big brush in water and then tapped it off. And then I'm just gonna come in and just do that jiggy-jaggy and soften that edge. Right? Just little by little, soften that edge. Jiggy-jaggy. Okay. There we go. Here. Oh, Keels, how is it 15 minutes already? It goes too fast. Soften up there, but I don't want to blend it all the way out. I just want to soften it because I want to come back in with my littler brush and kind of make that work a little bit more for me. So let's come over here, and remember, take a minute to wipe off any excess paint that you have on your paint cloth that you've pulled, so then you're not moving that paint into an area that you want to be light, because remember, we want nice contrast. We want darks and lights. That's how you're going to get the dimension that is so appealing. So this one, let's go back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Yep, that's exactly what we're looking for. Pull that off. Okay. Ooh, there was one more story I wanted to talk about from CBS Sunday Morning. Did anybody see the story about the flaming lips? I'm sure you probably saw the story when it happened, and now I don't remember exactly what month they did it, but they did a concert where everyone was in, they called it the bubble concert, and the whole audience and the band were all encased in these bubbles. It was like a big plastic clear bubble, so they could still hear the music, they could dance and sing. They had signs that they could hold up, so there was staff that was monitoring everybody, like if they had to go to the bathroom or if they it was getting hot inside of their bubble or what. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. I'm telling you, it was just the coolest. It was just the coolest. Like, I just, you know, we've talked about it before. I just am so proud of the ingenuity of people during this crazy during this crazy time, that people have found ways to have a little bit of normalcy. I just loved it. I just loved it. So proud of America. Okay, let's see. And I'm sure, you know what? I'm sure there are similar situations around the world and we just don't know about them yet, you know? I feel like this pink, I want it to be a little bit deeper. As I'm starting to blend it, it just feels like it's still pretty, it's pretty light. I feel like I want to, yeah, I think I want to get some more pink from this Josie set. Do you see how, like, you can just use whatever you have. You can mix colors, you can mix palettes. Yep, this is that. I'm wanting this a little bit deeper. Remember, this is the way you figure stuff out, is by trial and error, trial and error. And here's the beauty of this art printable. You've got 4 roses to play with. If you do one and you don't love it, then just move on to the next. But I'm telling you, don't throw things away. You just have to, I was just talking, Carmen and I just had this big conversation yesterday about how, sometimes you just need to, if you're just feeling stuck, then just take a minute to set it aside. Set it aside and come back and look at it later. Like these. I still haven't figured out exactly what I want to do, but I'm not going to throw it away because I know I will eventually figure something out. And I was telling Carmen, sometimes it takes like just going and sweeping and mopping your kitchen floor, like doing something totally different. I don't know, do a load of laundry, go for a walk, whatever it is, do something different, and then you'll go, that's it. I know what it needs. It needs white, or it needs black, or it needs whatever. Just know that there are, it's got to be pretty horrid to throw it away. Number one, because it's watercolor, if you're using watercolors, that you can, there's so many ways to repair it and to build on top of it. Just know that. So I'm gonna come back with my wet brush and work on my yellow Rose of Texas. So don't forget that Saturday, like I was telling Sue, Saturday is Let's Get Artsy Together Apart, and we're studying one of the most amazing women artists, Georgia O'Keeffe. So get ready to do some flowers, and because her flowers were so amazing. But then also on Saturday is another art printable, because I am participating in a Instagram hop. I've never done that, so wish me luck. But the thing about this hop is it's all about mental health awareness. And so I drew a new art printable just for this hop. And it's also, there are so many amazing card makers who are taking part. So I really, I would love for you to join us. So I will be posting mine before class, I think. Oh, don't worry about it. You can always absolutely take your kid to lunch, for crying out loud. And you know, just like all of my classes, you can always watch it on the replay. That's the beauty, right? And then Sunday, there'll be another Artsy Surprise. So it'll be a busy artsy weekend. I can hardly wait. That's like 3 things in one weekend. Oh, look at that yellow rose. I'm just loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Just really, like, it's kind of exactly how I envisioned it. Isn't that the greatest feeling? I just really want to. I can't wait to make it into a card now. And all of that little bits of subtle color that has, shut up. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So am I over? No. Yay, I still have some time. So let's take a drink and do something else. Oh, we could work on these leaves a little bit. Pull that color out. So I'm kind of doing the jiggy jaggy blend and then pulling that color right down that center. Pulling that color right down that center vein, whatever. And pulling a little bit of color onto the side veins. And you know, just remember, like, you can certainly, once this is all dry, you can come in and tighten up your lines if you'd like with some colored pencils, or a liner brush or whatever. All right, let's do the same thing here. Work out that color and pull that right down that main vein of the leaf, and then just pull it down the sides. Just work that color out. There we go. Well, and here's the thing, Jan, you can take part in the Instagram hop all day long. It's going, you know, there's so many artists that you'll be, I'm telling you, you'll be so inspired. And I put together a prize package, so I can't wait for that. And lots of other people are doing the prizes too, so super cool. A little bit more. I'm liking this better now that the pink is a little bit deeper. So I'm just, there we go. Jiggy, jaggy, jiggy, jaggy. That's so, I'm loving it. Oh, you'll be able to watch it all day Sunday if you want, Jan. That's a good Mother's Day, I think. Watching something artsy. That's what I want to do. Watch something artsy, do something artsy. There we go. All right, I think I need to let everything, look at that. Look at those 4 roses, so pretty. Okay, so I need to let it sit a little bit. And I'm gonna work on this. Remember we talked about covering it with glossy accents. So, or whatever, you know, glaze, glimmer, glaze, whatever. So I'm gonna work on that. It looks like I need to stick a pin in there because it looks like it's all, yep. There we go. Let's see if that is too big. Oh, don't you love doing surgery in front of other people? All right, let's see. Let's see if that, there's my little notes. Oh, there we go, perfect. All right, so now I'm going to just cover each one of these flowers in this glaze. And then once I make it into a card, I'll post it so you'll be able to see. But seriously, look at that, so pretty. So I think I need to do them like one side and then the other side. You know what I mean? Like this side and then flip it and do this side. That's what I'm feeling like. But even just the Winkostella, that kind of changed things up too. So dig out open that drawer that you haven't been in a while and pull something out. See what you get. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. I'm anxious to see how it looks when it's all dry. You know? Auntie Sylvia rocks. Look at her. Well, I probably shouldn't have started this while we were still on camera because now I can't stop. So you guys are stuck with me for a couple more minutes. Ooh, I think it's gonna be so pretty. Don't you just love like learning a new little technique? You know? Like that. It's just fun to have like one more thing in your little artsy arsenal in your noggin. Like, ooh, I could try that. I'm trying to make sure I get all of my the parts of the flower. I'm telling you that Winkostella is so pretty. Almost there. Well, not really, but hang in there with me, girls. So Laura, that's cool that you take Tai Chi. I mean, that's a cool thing because Absolutely, Keels. I know, like once you like, oh, just open that drawer and be like, oh, I totally forgot I had these pens or these paints or whatever. Pretty. I'm so anxious to see this when it's all dry. And I think I'm gonna like not play with it again until tomorrow. Give it a good, I mean, sometimes they dry, but it's not cured all the way, you know what I mean, to the bottom, all the way through. So I just like to give it a little extra time. That's for sure. Almost done. One last flower. Yeah, open those drawers and see what you have. I bet you have something that you haven't played with in a while. Almost done. Almost done. It is making my hand a little crampy, I will say, to keep squeezing this bottle. But you know, it'll be worth it. Okay. There, can you see? Oh, so pretty. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. So I'm going to set this aside to dry for like hours and hours and hours. I hope that everybody plays with a new something, a new technique, a new art printable, a new, you know, dig through your drawers and see what you find. I bet you'll find something cool that you haven't played with in a while. So make sure that you follow and like Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. See? Exactly, Jan. Just play with what you have. Anyway, I can't wait to hang out with you again on Saturday because we have like a whole new artsy thing to play with, a new artist. Well, not a new, we are revisiting her, but that's all right. I mean, we grow so much with each visit to each different artist. Then you're just going to feel your brain is going to see the world in a better way. I promise. So Saturday, remember there is the mental health awareness Instagram hop with a brand new art printable that'll go live Saturday morning. And also our Let's Get Artsy Apart class, which will be on Instagram. And my stuff at least will be posted on my Facebook, also on my Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook. But also just remember that you get to visit. I'm telling you, there are so many cool card makers. So many. I can't wait for you to see them all. And then Sunday, I have a little something, another artsy surprise. So it'll be an all-around amazing artsy weekend. Have an amazing rest of your Thursday. And I will see you all on Saturday. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.